Can you do a harvesting guide? Sure, I can do a harvesting guide. So, harvesting in New World, Aeternum, is probably one of the coolest activities in the game. I think it's the activity that pretty much universally I've seen across my channel, on all the videos, and in all the streams. It's the one thing that everyone in this game loves to do, regardless of what is their primary reason or playstyle. Like, some people want to be here for the dungeons, some people want to be here for the questing, some people want to be here for the PvP. Different people are here for different reasons. I need to turn my homestead stream volume off real quick. I forgot that was still in the background. I just heard a chicken crowing. So let me mute that while we're going. That's awesome. Um, by the way, I do run a homestead stream every morning out from the catio out the back. That's on our other channel for those of you who are interested. So you can go out and watch our 8 cats run around and all the chickens making noise. I'm totally gonna plug that since I forgot. It's also raining outside, so you were probably hearing some rain too. Anyway, harvesting is an activity that everyone loves to do in this game. You are going to be given a tutorial very early on that's going to show you how to do the basics of the harvesting system. And if you want it to be, this game has a survival element to it of crafting your own harvesting gear and harvesting all of your own substances to not only make yourself all of your armor and your weapons, but also to create all of the foods that you're going to be using for buffs, as well as potions that you use for regen, potions that you use for mana regen, potions that you use for buffs and resists. There's a lot of different reasons why you would be wanting to be doing the crafting system, and all of that relies upon harvesting. Even if you're not someone who plans to do crafting, you can sell all of your harvestable items to other players who can use those materials for crafting objects. So harvesting is like probably one of the foundational layers of this game, in my opinion. Everybody relies upon it for some aspect, whether for weapons, whether it's for armor, or whether it's for foods and buffs. So you're going to get the crafting and harvesting tutorial very early on, and the first thing they're going to have you do is like gather some stones and gather some sticks and make a skinning knife, as I recall. And then from there, that's the basics of the system. Someone just chopped a tree down ahead of us. So there are a variety of skills to look at. We can go over here to the character screen and go over to trade skills. What you're looking for is this right here, this part where it says gathering. That's this bottom section. So you've got all of these that are tied to the gathering and refinement of things, and they're all under here. Just think of gathering as the whole thing, but it's these core ones in the middle that you're looking for. The logging, mining, tracking, skinning, harvesting, fishing, those are all tied into the leatherworking, woodworking, stonecutting, weaving, smelting, and other systems. So yeah, let's get to it. So every single item that you're going to harvest requires a tool. You were taught that in the very beginning of the game, and you probably have on your I'm on the PlayStation, but at the top you can hit the right bumper to take you over to the crafting or harvesting tab, and here you're going to be able to see your bag as well as all of your crafting essentials. So right now I'm using a mining pick, but I also have a skinning knife, a logging axe, and a sickle. And you'll notice that all of these are various different tiers. This is the basic iron stuff that I made for myself. Along the way, I've got some quest items like this ancient mining pick and this really awesome fishing pole called the Old Hermit's Pastime. So there are different tiers of harvesting tools, and they do different things. So like the basic iron doesn't give you any bonuses. It's just a gathering speed. So the different tiers have a quicker gathering speed. So the lowest tier has the lowest gathering speed. The higher tiers have higher speeds. So you'll be able to harvest quicker. There's also other bonuses that can tie into it when you're looking at the leveling system. So as you earn faction in a given territory, we are currently in the Windsward territory. What I have done along the way is every time I've been given a perk to choose for each tier of that ranking, I've chosen either harvesting speed or crafting storage shed space. So my crafting speed in this region, harvesting speed I should say, I keep saying crafting. My harvest. It's because I literally just recorded the crafting guide before this one. The harvesting speed for this region is much quicker than it'll be in other regions because I have increased the crafting time for this region through my faction ranking. And you'll notice here, like, Monarch's Pluck, I'm level 1. Brimstone Sands, I'm level 0. So in any of the 0 territories, my harvesting speed is the default harvesting speed because I don't have any bonuses from factions. So that's something that's like a perk. It's not mandatory, but it's a nice perk. So you have your harvesting gear. This allows you to harvest the various substances of the game. Now, out in the wild, you're also going to find that everything that you harvest has tiers. So you're going to see things like, here's a young tree, and then this will probably be a mature tree. Okay, so when you're first starting off, you're only going to be able to gather sticks from bushes, and as you get better, you'll be able to chop down young trees. And then young trees you'll be able to chop down until you're able to get to level 50, I think, which is when you can chop down mature trees. And then you can go to 100, and then 150, and then 200, and beyond. I actually don't know the cap, to be honest with you, and someone's going to call me out on that now and be like, how dare you have something called an ultimate guide and you don't know what the cap is? I think it's like 275 or something. I could be wrong. I don't know. Look it up. It'll change. But everything you're going to harvest has tiers. So if you want to get the best wood in the game, you will have to be able to harvest that wood. Therefore, you will have to go out and level up your harvesting skill. If you go to my crafting section again, go over to trade skills. Oops. You'll notice that everything is at different levels. So my tracking and skinning is at 65. My harvesting is at 94. I thought that was 100. Mining's at level 58. And then these are my refinement skills. So going through here, you'll always be looking for things that are of the lowest tier. But also never pass up a turkey. Oops. I hit the button twice. More than one turkey. Is there a third? The reason you never want to pass up turkeys is because they have feathers. And feathers are used for, I forget what. Something. But you also get meat. Anyway, turkeys are one of these low ones like bushes that don't require any skills. So you can always harvest twigs from bushes. And you can also always get flint, because flint is a rock that you can pick up from the ground. But in order to do a boulder, you must make a pickaxe. Once you have the pickaxe created, you can then harvest boulders. You're going to notice I'm getting experience as well as materials. There are different tiers of everything. Ore, wood, bushes, so on and so forth. And as you get into the higher tiers of things, you're going to notice that they're in areas where there are mobs that will attack you and hurt you, and you need to be able to defend yourself. So in some cases, harvesting can be quite dangerous as you get into the higher levels of the game if you've chosen to not do any adventuring. Some players only want to do harvesting. It's viable, but you are also going to be taking a huge risk when you step outside the safety of the city gates, because everything wants to eat you in this game world, and if you haven't leveled up, you won't be able to survive that, or it'll be very dangerous. Now at the top here, you're also going to notice I have a mini map, and like there's a turkey on that map. You see the turkeys? So, and there's a wolf den over there. But the turkeys in particular is one I want to point out. Also, there's some boars. Now some boars have showed up. As you get higher up in the various harvesting abilities, you'll be able to track things on your icon, on your minimap, excuse me. And you'll see their icons. And then you can sort of meander in that direction until you see them ahead of you. Like there it is right there. That's a boar. And then you can take out that boar and you can just keep running in a given direction. And you'll start to find nodes. Generally speaking, nodes are kind of like within any given biosphere, you're going to find different types of nodes. Certain things do sort of tend to appear more in their level range. So like lower level ores will generally be found in lower level areas, and higher level nodes will be found in higher level areas, but you'll also find a smattering of either in both zones as well. So it's a kind of mixed, but it does favor based on level. And you can see the level of a region by looking at your map here, panning out and going over and saying, okay, Reekwater is 58 to 65 plus. You know, Windsward is different level. Level 35. This is, hang on, I'm hovering over the wrong thing. Stop it. I got so many things that is wanting to snap to instead of just showing me. There we go. Well, anyway, different levels for different areas, so that as you're running around the map, you can go, okay, 1 to 17. There it is. I see it now, 1 to 17. I just couldn't see it. 1 to 25, 50 to 65. You'll see all the level ranges for these areas, 60, 65, 60, 65. These areas can be quite dangerous, so, you know, you're at your own risk when you go there. But as a general rule, as you're starting out, you're going to find nodes spread out across all sorts of tiers and difficulties, and you kind of just have to run around and look for things. Now, there are exceptions to that rule, like rock is almost always going to be found around these rock structures and along the top tiers of this. So you would want to jump up on top of this rock or run around the bottom of the rock and look. But you can sometimes find nodes in the middle of the forest too as you're running along, and you'd be like, oh, there's an iron node. But as a general rule, you'll find more ore near more rocky places, and you're going to find things like quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. I forget the node, but it's oil. You're going to find oil in swampy areas, generally speaking. So there are sort of overall rules that govern the biomes, but again, there are things that you can find throughout. You're going to find trees everywhere, as an example. Trees are an everywhere item. And plants, like harvestable plants, you'll find those in all areas. But there are like certain marshy nodes. There's certain stone nodes. You'll find stone nodes in a lot of caves. We've got something up on over here too. These are fronded petal caps. These are from the harvesting skill. And these are related to earth motes, which I think are for life staffs. And then we can run across this rock and we might find some nodes to harvest along this rock, but it looks pretty barren this morning. There's also another player ahead of me. He's probably doing the exact same thing. I'm just going to run around real quick, see if we see any nodes. I don't see any mining nodes at the moment, so it may be just that none are spawning here, or somebody had just cleared them out recently and they're on their way to respawn. You never know. There's lots of potential. There's lots of places to find things. Ooh, hope your vertigo's not bad like mine is. That was a trip, guys. Falling damage is not that bad. Here, I'll show you. But it does make my vertigo go tingly. I think that's a turkey. No, that's more. Those are more boars. Oh, there's some hemp. This is good for fibers. So as you can see, you could just run around the map and find things all over the place. There are guides online that will teach you sort of areas where certain things can be found. I think that those are worth looking at. There's also a big map, which I think was for the original game. I don't know how updated it is for Aeternum. But there used to be a map that showed like all of the harvesting nodes and stuff. Like not harvesting nodes, but like areas where you can find things on the internet out there somewhere. So you can look that up if you'd like to, if you want a total breakdown of like all the places you can find things. But that's essentially how the harvesting system works in this game. Now, harvesting, again, it fuels everything. So whether you're going to be cooking your own food, building your own furniture, making your own weapons, making your own gear, the harvesting system is a core part of this game. And you can play this game like a crafting survival sim if you want to. Now, it doesn't force you to. Like, as an example, there's no downside to not running food. If you see, my fat head's in front of it. You see all these right here? I make all my own food and things. So I've got regen potions that I could drink. I got a honing stone, which is used to use for a buff. I've got some stuffed calamari I can eat, and then I have some rations that I can eat, and that adds buffs to my character. So now I've got enhanced. Ooh, here's some berry bushes. Hell yeah, man. Berries are used in cooking. You'll find nuts in the woods as well, so So if you hear how chill that music is in the background, that's one of the reasons people really enjoy harvesting in this game, is because you can run around with this really chill music and you can come in here and harvest nodes, chop down some trees. It's very therapeutic. It's very ASMR. I don't remember the terminology. And then occasionally you'll find players who are just leaving things for you to harvest, and you can come and harvest things after them and be like, what, you don't want that hide? I'll totally take that hide. Here, let me take that off your hands. I'm never too proud to turn down a skin. But that is essentially the harvesting system, folks. It's very simple. Just remember that there are multiple tiers to the items. And just like with crafting, like the higher tiers of harvestables will require you to have a skill leveled up. So like I said, you might start off doing these herbs, which don't take any skills. And these get you up to, you know, you can level up on these, which will take you up to like 100. And then at 100, you'll start finding things like silkweed, which requires a level 100 harvesting skill to even harvest. Same thing with wood, with ore, with every node in the game. Every animal in the game has a tiered system, so you won't be able to harvest the higher tiers of animals unless your skinning is leveled up appropriately. So you do have to pay attention to harvesting all the things you see. Base rule for everybody who loves harvesting in this game is just always be harvesting everything. And when you're full, the best thing to do is go back to a town and just stash it in a storage chest and then come back out and keep going, because you have a individual storage chest for each region. And then you can also level up those storage sheds by the points I was talking about earlier when you're choosing the points for the territories. Actually, I think that was in the crafting guide. Let me stop running around here for a second so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. As you're leveling up each territory, you're going to be given a choice every time you get a level to choose between one of like several perks. I always go for faster harvesting speed and storage shed space, because as someone who loves to craft, I'm constantly stockpiling resources so you can harvest faster and stash things in the shed. I may have mentioned at the beginning of this video, I don't know, I've recorded a bunch of videos this morning, so just a recap. That's it, everybody. I don't think there's anything else. There might be a couple things I've missed, and I'm sure people will drop those down in the comments below, so like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. I do beginner's guides for every game I play, and I do play games for a full-time living. Daily streams happen at 9 a.m. Central. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch, and I just started doing TikTok as well. I'm not sure if TikTok will stay long-term. We'll see. But you can also follow along on X and Instagram and Facebook, so hopefully we'll see you there. Discord, Patreon as well. Thanks, everybody. Until next time, stay safe. Happy gathering out there.